The evolving tapestry, a renewal beyond time. In a world where nature, technology, and human existence flowed seamlessly together, there was no such thing as a fixed future. It was a future shaped not just by the great strides of innovation but by the deep, quiet moments of understanding, creativity, and organic inspiration that had touched lives in ways beyond recognition. This was a time when humanity had woven itself into the rhythm of the earth and the cosmos, not in dominance, but in partnership. At the core of this transformation lay the autonomous isolation labs, spaces where humanity's understanding of life, resilience, and adaptation had expanded beyond anything once imagined. These labs, nestled within vast, secure environments far removed from human touch, were hubs of discovery and exploration. Controlled, unyielding to human presence, they were stewards of the most dangerous and delicate forces, diseases, viewed not as adversaries to be destroyed, but as profound lessons to be understood. Inside these labs, robotic systems monitored, studied, and learned from pathogens in real time. These diseases, once the scourge of humanity, were now understood as intricate mechanisms of survival and adaptation. They were no longer viewed through the lens of destruction, but through the lens of life itself. Here, humanity realized that survival wasn't solely about eliminating threats but about understanding them, learning from them, and adapting in ways never before imagined. It was a humbling lesson in resilience. Yet, beyond these labs, there was a quiet pulse of humanity's most innovative achievement, the hibernated systems, networks of connected intelligence designed to foster growth and creativity in the minds of children, whose consciousness could be nourished by experiences and ideas while their bodies rested in an artificial sleep. These systems, governed by empathetic algorithms, nurtured the children's minds with the rich, subtle lessons of the world, lessons learned from nature, technology, and even disease. While their bodies slept, their minds expanded, cultivating knowledge of the past, present, and future in a dreamlike state, learning without conscious effort. It was here, in the quiet of these systems, that inspiration was woven into the very fabric of their existence. These children, when awakened, would possess an intrinsic understanding of life's interconnectedness, where every thought, action, and moment of creativity had the potential to ignite something greater, something beyond the individual. The fields of unseen inspiration. Across the communities of this evolved world, there existed spaces like no other, a quiet, almost sacred part of the Renewal Day celebrations called the Field of Moments. These fields were designed not just to honor the lives of those who sparked creativity, but to acknowledge the anonymous, unseen sources of inspiration that wove through the tapestry of life. No one here came seeking accolades or recognition. They simply came to remember the silent catalysts of their own journeys. The air was thick with shared, unspoken stories. In the center of these fields stood an interactive exhibit, where the stories of lives transformed without intention could be experienced. Augmented reality allowed these moments to unfold before the eyes of the participants, painting images of sunsets that inspired forgotten poems, of quiet acts of kindness that rekindled passions for old crafts, or of simple encounters with nature that reminded one of long-lost dreams. As a child, nestled within the hibernated systems, learned and absorbed the intricacies of the universe, they would come to understand that their inspiration did not stem from the pursuit of fame or recognition. It was the unseen connections, the delicate threads of life, that sparked creativity. Even the viruses and bacteria studied in the autonomous labs had a role to play in this great, evolving web of life. The field of moments was where these truths were reflected, stories of the unknown but deeply felt impacts of one life on another. A mother spoke of the time she had sat in the park, lost in thought, when a child, perhaps no older than 5, had passed by, speaking words of wisdom that shook her from a long-held belief. The child hadn't meant to teach, they had simply spoken truth from a place of innocence. That moment, now folded into the greater narrative of the community, had shaped her life in ways she never expected. The child did not know they had inspired her, but in the depths of the field of moments, this moment was acknowledged with reverence. The symbiotic connection of past, present, and future. As the day unfolded, the deeper layers of humanity's symbiotic connection became apparent. The autonomous systems in the labs, while isolated from human hands, were intrinsically tied to the collective consciousness of the people. Through neural interfaces, people could feel the movements of molecules, the delicate dance of life and death, within each pathogen studied. They could understand how even the most destructive forces in nature could hold secrets of adaptability and resilience. These insights were woven into the minds of the children, whose hibernated states fed them the wisdom of the ages, teaching them not just to survive, but to understand the nuances of growth, healing, and creation. And so, humanity's future became a reflection of the past, an ongoing, ever-evolving cycle of interconnectedness, where even the smallest, most unassuming act of kindness or the simplest interaction with nature could spark a moment of renewal. The children, once awakened from their hibernation, would walk through life with an innate sense of respect for the unseen forces that shape their world, understanding that everything, even the most tragic of events, held a lesson to be learned and inspiration to be found. The field of moments was where the cyclical nature of existence was honored, not through the pursuit of credit or fame, but through the understanding that inspiration was a gift to be shared freely, unknowingly, and continuously. It was not about the source but the impact, the ripples that spread out into the world, creating endless opportunities for renewal. In this future, humanity had evolved into a collective organism that thrived not only through technology but through the quiet, humble understanding that every part of life, no matter how seemingly small or destructive, played a role in the great tapestry of existence. Disease, technology, nature, and human spirit each had their place, each had their lessons to offer. The future was not just about surviving, but about learning, growing, and being present in every moment of transformation. And so, with each new day, the field of moments stood as a reminder, one that spanned generations, one that was deeply etched into the heart of humanity, that inspiration was not always a choice, but rather, a quiet, invisible gift, woven from the threads of the past and offered to those ready to receive it. This narrative ties together the elements you mentioned, the autonomous isolation labs, the hibernated systems of children, the evolving symbiotic future, and the field of moments. It reflects on the interconnectedness of all aspects of life, the lessons from disease, and the quiet, organic nature of inspiration. It integrates the understanding that humanity's future is shaped not by the pursuit of recognition, but by the shared experience of growth, adaptation, and renewal.